Sean Diddy Combs, the man of many names, got arrested. Shocking, right? Well, maybe not so much if you've been following his career. Diddy, Puff Daddy, P. Diddy, or just plain Sean Combs, whatever you call him, he's always been a larger-than-life figure. From his early days in the music industry to his ventures in fashion, television, and even politics, Diddy has never been one to shy away from the spotlight, but this time the spotlight is a bit more intense. Not really. Except this time it's federal charges. Yes, you heard that right. Federal charges. This isn't just some minor scuffle or a misunderstanding at a nightclub. This is serious business, the kind of business that involves federal agents, courtrooms, and a whole lot of legal jargon. The kind of business that could potentially change the course of his life and career. But what exactly are these charges? That's the million-dollar question, and nobody's saying what for. It's all shrouded in mystery. The authorities are tight-lipped, and Diddy's team isn't offering any clues either. It's like a real-life episode of a crime drama where everyone is left guessing. Speculations are running wild, with theories ranging from financial crimes to something more sinister, but until there's an official statement, it's all just conjecture. Homeland Security raided his homes from coast to coast. Imagine waking up to the sound of federal agents banging on your door, not just at one residence, but at multiple properties across the country. It's a scene straight out of a movie, but for Diddy, it's all too real. The raids were extensive, involving a large number of agents and a lot of high-tech equipment. They were looking for something, but what? That's still a mystery. Diddy must have really ticked someone off. Maybe it's someone in a position of power, someone who has the resources to launch such a massive operation. Or maybe it's a group of people, a collective effort to bring him down. Whatever the case, it's clear that this isn't just a minor issue. This is something big, something that has a lot of people very, very interested. Or maybe he just left his Amazon Prime subscription running. Okay, that's a bit of a stretch, but you get the point. Sometimes the things that get us into trouble are the ones we least expect. Maybe it's something as mundane as a forgotten subscription. Or maybe it's something much more complex. The point is, until we know more, it's all just speculation. His lawyer says he's no criminal, just imperfect. In a press conference, Diddy's lawyer was quick to defend his client, painting a picture of a man who, like all of us, has his flaws. He emphasized that Diddy is a public figure, and public figures often find themselves under intense scrutiny. But does that make him a criminal, according to his lawyer? Absolutely not. He's just a man who's made some mistakes like anyone else. You know, like that friend who borrows your clothes and never returns them. We all have that one friend, right? The one who's always borrowing things and somehow never manages to give them back. It's annoying, sure, but it's hardly a federal offense. Diddy's lawyer is trying to make the case that whatever Diddy is accused of, it's not as serious as it's being made out to be. It's just a misunderstanding, a lapse in judgment. Except Diddy's version probably involves a lot more velour tracksuits. Ah, the velour tracksuit. A staple of early 2000s fashion and a look that Diddy has made iconic. It's a symbol of his larger-than-life persona, his flair for the dramatic. But in this case, it's also a reminder that Diddy is, at the end of the day, just a person who, like all of us, has his quirks and his flaws. And maybe, just maybe, that's what makes this whole situation so fascinating, because it's not just about the charges or the raids or the mystery. It's about a man who's always been larger than life, now facing something that could bring him back down to earth. The public reaction has been mixed. Some fans are standing by him, expressing their support on social media and in public forums. They believe in his innocence and are willing to give him the benefit of the doubt. Others, however, are more skeptical. They see this as just another example of a celebrity thinking they're above the law. The debate is heated, with strong opinions on both sides. And the media is having a field day. Every news outlet is covering the story, with headlines ranging from the sensational to the speculative. Paparazzi are camped outside his homes, hoping to catch a glimpse of the man at the center of it all. It's a media circus, and Diddy is the main attraction. But amidst all the noise, the real question remains, what did he do? And will we ever find out? The legal proceedings are just beginning. This is going to be a long, drawn-out process, with plenty of twists and turns along the way. There will be court appearances, legal filings, and probably a lot of drama. It's a story that's far from over, and one that will keep everyone on the edge of their seats. So stay tuned, because this is one saga that's just getting started. In the meantime, Diddy's career continues. He's still making music, still performing, still doing what he does best. His fans are still cheering for him, and his influence in the industry remains strong. Whatever happens in the courtroom, one thing is clear. Diddy is a force to be reckoned with, and no matter what, he's not going down without a fight. And let's not forget, he's also a father, a friend, and a mentor. He has a life outside of the spotlight, a life that's now being overshadowed by these charges. It's a reminder that behind the celebrity persona, there's a real person with real relationships and real responsibilities. And that's something worth remembering as this story unfolds. So what's next for Diddy? Only time will tell, but one thing's for sure, this is a story that's far from over. There will be more developments, more revelations, and probably more surprises, but through it all, Diddy will keep doing what he does best, being himself. And in the end, that might just be enough to see him through. This is a developing story, and we'll be bringing you updates as they happen. So stay tuned, because you won't want to miss a moment of this unfolding drama. Whether you're a fan or a skeptic, one thing's for sure. Diddy's story is one that's impossible to ignore. Diddy's known for his music, his business ventures, and oh yeah, those pesky sexual abuse allegations. Seems like every few months another lawsuit pops up. It's like whack-a-mole but with legal documents, but hey, at least he's consistently in trouble, that is. Speaking of consistency, guess who almost got assassinated? Again, that's right, Donald J. Trump. Apparently, being a twice-impeached ex-president isn't enough to keep you safe these days. Who knew? This time, it happened at his golf course. Because where else would you try to take out a man who spends more time on the green than a golf ball? Section 4, Ryan W. Ruth, assassin or activist. Enter our would-be assassin, Ryan W. Ruth. A man shrouded in mystery, often seen in the shadows, wearing a baseball cap and sunglasses. His presence in protests and rallies has always been enigmatic, leaving people to wonder about his true intentions. A man of many causes, apparently. He wrote a book, not just any book, but one that stirred quite the controversy. Titled The Trump Assassination, it wasn't exactly a subtle piece of literature. The book delved into the idea of assassinating a sitting president, a notion that sent shockwaves through political circles and beyond, about how Trump should be assassinated. Subtle, this one. The cover itself was provocative, designed to catch the eye and ignite debate. It found its place on bookstore shelves among other political books, but it stood out for its audacity and the dangerous ideas it propagated. He's also a big fan of Ukraine. His support for Ukraine was evident in his participation in numerous rallies and protests, where he was often seen waving the Ukrainian flag with fervor. His passion for the cause was undeniable, but it added another layer of complexity to his already puzzling persona. So, either he's got his causes mixed up, or he really hates losing at golf. His frustration on the golf course was palpable, often leading to outbursts that left fellow golfers bewildered. It was as if the game symbolized something deeper for him, a microcosm of his larger struggles and frustrations. Whatever his motivation, one thing's for sure, the man needs a hobby, and maybe a therapist. His erratic behavior and intense involvement in various causes suggested a man in need of balance. Perhaps a new hobby like painting or gardening could provide a much-needed outlet for his energies. And a therapist might help him untangle the web of motivations driving his actions. Ryan's presence at political rallies was a constant. He was always in the thick of things, holding protest signs and chanting slogans with the crowd. His dedication to activism was clear, but it often bordered on the extreme, raising questions about his true objectives. The headlines about political unrest seemed to fuel his fire. He was always up to date with the latest news, and his reactions were intense. It was as if he saw himself as a key player in the unfolding drama. A man on a mission to make a difference, no matter the cost. His participation in debates was another aspect of his activism. He was never one to shy away from a heated discussion, often taking the stage to voice his opinions. The audience's reactions were mixed, with some applauding his courage and others questioning his sanity. In quieter moments, Ryan could be found writing in his journal. These entries provided a glimpse into his mind, revealing a man deeply conflicted and searching for meaning. His thoughts were a mix of idealism and frustration, a testament to his complex nature. Visits to memorials were a regular part of his routine. These moments of reflection seemed to ground him, offering a brief respite from his otherwise tumultuous life. The act of placing flowers at a memorial was a poignant reminder of his humanity, a contrast to his more radical actions. Ryan's interest in history was another facet of his personality. He spent hours in the library, poring over historical books and researching events that shaped the world. This quest for knowledge was driven by a desire to understand the past and its impact on the present. His involvement in community meetings highlighted his commitment to local issues. He was an active participant, always ready to discuss and debate solutions to the problems facing his community. This grassroots activism was a stark contrast to his more controversial pursuits. Volunteering at shelters was another way he gave back. Despite his radical views, he had a compassionate side that drove him to help those in need. This duality made him a complex figure, one who defied easy categorization. In an attempt to find inner peace, Ryan took up meditation. These moments of tranquility in the park were a stark contrast to his otherwise chaotic life. The practice of meditation offered him a way to center himself and find clarity amidst the turmoil. Therapy sessions became a regular part of his routine. Discussing his issues with a therapist helped him gain insight into his motivations and actions. It was a step towards understanding himself and finding a healthier way to channel his energies. Ryan's participation in peaceful protests was a sign of his evolving approach to activism. He began to see the value in non-violent methods, joining others in advocating for change through peaceful means. This shift was a hopeful sign of his potential for growth and transformation. Reflecting by the lake became a cherished ritual. These moments of solitude allowed him to process his thoughts and emotions, providing a sense of calm and perspective. It was in these quiet moments that he found the clarity he so desperately sought. Attending support groups offered him a sense of community and understanding. Sharing his story and hearing others' experiences helped him realize he wasn't alone in his struggles. This sense of connection was a crucial step in his journey towards healing. Creative writing became a new passion. It allowed him to express his thoughts and ideas in a constructive way, channeling his energy into something positive. This newfound hobby brought him joy and a sense of accomplishment. Joining a book club was another way he connected with others. The discussions were stimulating and offered him a chance to engage with different perspectives. It was a welcome change from the often isolating nature of his previous pursuits. Practicing yoga helped him find balance. The physical and mental discipline required for yoga provided a sense of harmony and well-being. It was another tool in his journey towards a more balanced and fulfilling life. Attending mindfulness workshops furthered his quest for inner peace. The techniques he learned helped him stay present and focused, reducing the anxiety and stress that had plagued him for so long. Engaging in community service projects became a regular part of his life. Working together with others for a common cause gave him a sense of purpose and fulfillment. It was a way to make a positive impact and give back to the community. Attending political seminars allowed him to stay informed and engaged. The knowledge he gained from these events helped him refine his views and approach to activism. It was a way to stay connected to the issues he cared about while learning from experts in the field. Participating in charity runs was another way he combined his passion for activism with a healthy lifestyle. Running for a cause gave him a sense of purpose and allowed him to contribute to important causes while staying fit. Attending cultural festivals broadened his horizons and exposed him to new experiences. These events were a celebration of diversity and offered him a chance to connect with different cultures and communities. Volunteering at food banks was another way he gave back. Helping those in need provided a sense of fulfillment and reminded him of the importance of compassion and empathy. Attending meditation retreats offered him a deeper level of introspection and peace. These retreats were an opportunity to disconnect from the chaos of everyday life and focus on inner growth and healing. Participating in community garden projects allowed him to connect with nature and contribute to sustainable living. Working in the garden was a therapeutic activity that provided a sense of accomplishment and connection to the earth. Attending peace rallies became a regular part of his activism. These events were a platform for advocating non-violence and promoting harmony. His presence at these rallies was a testament to his evolving approach to making a difference. Reflecting on his journey, Ryan realized how far he had come. The path had been tumultuous, but it had also been a journey of growth and self-discovery. He looked to the future with hope, ready to continue his activism in a more balanced and constructive way. At a community event, Ryan's smile was a reflection of his newfound sense of purpose and fulfillment. He had found a way to channel his passion for activism into positive actions that made a real difference. His journey was far from over, but he was on a path towards a brighter future. Section 5. A phone call for the history books, or not. In a truly shocking turn of events, Kamala Harris called Trump. This was not just any call. It was a call that would be remembered or perhaps forgotten, depending on who you ask. The vice president, known for her composed demeanor and sharp intellect, found herself in a situation that demanded an unexpected gesture. The political climate was tense, the nation divided, and the stakes higher than ever. Yet, in the midst of all this, Kamala Harris decided to reach out to the former president, Donald Trump. Yes, you read that right. The call was as surprising as it was unprecedented. People from all walks of life, from political analysts to everyday citizens, were left in a state of disbelief. The news spread like wildfire, with social media platforms buzzing with reactions ranging from shock to skepticism. How could this be? What could have prompted such a call? The questions were endless and the answers elusive. She expressed relief that he was safe. In a world where political rivalries often overshadow basic human decency, this was a moment that stood out. Kamala Harris, despite their numerous political differences and the contentious history between them, chose to extend a hand of concern. It was a gesture that spoke volumes about her character and her commitment to the principles of empathy and humanity. She didn't have to make that call, but she did, and in doing so, she reminded us all of the importance of compassion, because apparently, even when you disagree with someone, you don't wish death upon them. Who knew? This simple yet profound truth seemed to have been lost in the cacophony of political discourse. The call served as a poignant reminder that at the end of the day, we are all human beings capable of kindness and understanding, even towards those we vehemently disagree with. It was a call for civility, for a return to a time when political opponents could still find common ground, or at the very least, respect each other's humanity. Trump, of course, accused her of inciting violence against him. In typical fashion, the former president did not take the call at face value. Instead, he saw it as an opportunity to further his narrative of victimhood and persecution. His response was swift and predictable, filled with accusations and finger-pointing. He claimed that Harris's call was not a gesture of goodwill, but rather a calculated move to incite violence against him. The irony was palpable, given his own history of inflammatory rhetoric. Because why stick to the script when you can just make stuff up? This was classic Trump, always ready to turn any situation to his advantage, facts be damned. His ability to spin a narrative, no matter how far-fetched, was on full display. It was a reminder of the deeply polarized nature of our current political landscape, where truth often takes a back seat to sensationalism. The call, which could have been a moment of unity, instead became yet another flashpoint in the ongoing saga of American politics. The media, of course, had a field day. News outlets across the spectrum dissected the call from every possible angle. Pundits weighed in with their expert opinions, while social media was ablaze with hot takes and memes. Some saw it as a genuine act of concern, others as a political stunt. The call became a Rorschach test, revealing more about the observers than the participants. It was a moment that encapsulated the complexities and contradictions of our times. Throughout history, there have been moments when political adversaries have set aside their differences for the greater good. These moments, though rare, serve as powerful reminders of what is possible when we prioritize our shared humanity over our divisions. The call between Harris and Trump, regardless of its immediate impact, will be remembered as one such moment. It was a fleeting glimpse of what could be, a reminder that even in the most contentious of times, there is room for empathy and understanding. As the dust settles, the call will likely fade into the background, overshadowed by the next big story. But for a brief moment, it offered a glimpse of a different kind of politics, one where compassion and decency are not seen as weaknesses, but as strengths. It was a call for the history books, or perhaps not. Only time will tell. But for now, it stands as a testament to the enduring power of empathy, even in the most unlikely of circumstances. And so we move forward, carrying with us the lessons of this unexpected call. In a world that often feels divided beyond repair, it is moments like these that remind us of our shared humanity. It is a call to remember that, despite our differences, we are all in this together, And that, perhaps, is the most important lesson of all. Section 6, America, where the jokes write themselves. So there you have it, folks, a rapper facing secret charges, an ex-president dodging assassination attempts, and a vice president making phone calls that could melt steel beams. Is this real life? Or just another episode of The Twilight Zone? Honestly, at this point, who can tell the difference?